What's up, guys? It's James from JWJ Capital, and tonight we're going to be going over a lot of you guys have been asking me about ES, the E-mini S&P 500 contracts. What is ES? How does ES work? A lot of the times we give you the market commentary in the morning, provided with the ES levels. And some of you guys don't really know how to use them, how to approach them in your trading. So hopefully this video is going to be able to help you guys navigate a little easier and understand a little more what ES is and how it correlates the market and your trades. All right, so here we have a chart, two weekly charts, one of ES and the other is going to be the SPY ETF, right? So just starting to look at these charts, there obviously is a lot of similarities in this chart, right? One big thing that you guys should notice is there's a lot more, gaps and, smaller, perhaps not on the weekly chart, but, we rotate to a daily chart. You guys may start to see gaps on the SPY, right? Here, here. But on the ES, no gaps. And the reason for that is ES trades almost 24 hours a day, right? The futures do trade overnight. They open on 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, and they close 5 p.m. on Fridays. And there's typically small halt after the close, from 4:15 to 4:30 each day, and then a maintenance from 5 to 6 p.m. each day as well, Monday through Thursday. So basically, the ES is is referring to the E-mini S&P futures, right? So the SPY doesn't trade 24 hours, right? The ES is essentially future forward-looking contract for SPY. Right, so when you get big gap ups or you get big gap downs or, a lot of pre-market volume and a lot of volatility, you'll typically be able to read that in the overnight sessions, for ES. So, one of the big reasons why it's so important, guys, to use it in your trades is, it can help you identify, levels of supply and demand that, maybe aren't on the SPY chart, right? So if we're going to take it, break it down to the 4-hour chart here, right? All right, so you guys kind of see here, very, very similar, right? Top was put in about the same time. Trend lines hold here, and here, because these are mirroring right now. Right, so you can kind of see, you can build an idea of supply zones essentially, from these levels and from these 4-hour levels, right? Right here's a big one that we talk about a lot, 38.58, huge pivot point, right? And it all starts from this, supply zone within here, 38.22, 38.58, big supply zone. We've traded in that zone a lot this past week and last week. So, you can kind of see, a little bit just with, these supply zones, guys. They do work, here, we got a double top, hold of the trend, broke through to retest it and then make higher highs. Back last week, we had a lot of difficulty, trading within that zone. But, it was a big pivot point. One bounce and a rejection down to 38.22, the bottom of the supply zone. You can kind of get a good idea of, when you're trading the SPY, if you want to trade I know a lot of you guys like to trade the the futures with the contracts, weeklies and day ofs and stuff like that. I mean, they're fun, they're very volatile, you can make good profits on them, but you got to know how to read order flow, and the futures are really important and, big indicators of where the market is going to move and how it's going to move, right? So the futures are a little different, as you could tell, than the SPY. All right, SPY is not really doing much right here, right? You don't see many bids and asks being traded right now, but on the ES, right, you see a spread of typically the ES only moves in 0.25s, right? So whereas SPY can trade within pennies, you will never see 380, 70 point 14 or 12. ES is always going to trade within 25 cents. That's how the contracts move. That's how the share. That's how it's always been. And it's kind of better that way because you get a better idea of you see this zone right here from the old breakdown highs before we made higher lows. It's a little more intuitive, right? Perfectly, these order flows, they work, guys. These in these supply zones, you just got to be able to train your eye to see it and learn how to read it when it does come about, because they can help you a lot with your trading. A lot of the ES levels that we give you guys in the morning, prove to be pretty pretty accurate. And if you guys do trade the futures, you guys can make a lot of money on these. Right. So the next thing I want to say about the ES is, essentially, we give the market commentary every morning. A lot of you guys are still a little confused on how to use it, how to trade it, right? So I'm going to show you intraday how to trade ES and what the levels look like and how to use them, right? So we're going to take a look at a 15-minute chart here of ES. We're going to break down a 5-minute chart of SPY. Right, so we're going to take the overnight levels and the right. So you're going to plot the overnight high, overnight low, right, and then you kind of see just how price action just kind of dilutes through the day, right? We open on the RSI pretty oversold, but that didn't matter, because you see we broke right through the AM highs, right? Tested it in the morning, got a little rejected, but then retested it and broke right through it, and then volume just kind of came in and led the way. 3870.71 is also the previous weekly breakout high, so that was another area of resistance that we thought was important. You could also see here we closed below that weekly breakout. ES is having a little bit of a dump right now, but all that matters is that 9:30 in the morning, guys. So price action. Use those overnight levels, pre-market lows, pre-market highs, previous session highs, previous session lows, right? So you can kind of see it. Here I have a modified think script for those kind of levels that I don't have to go on hand chart every day. Right, so the purple line is previous session lows. The yellow is the close. Here's our pivot point, our big pivot point for bulls versus bears. Open, the intraday high, the overnight high. Well, now the overnight high, and now the overnight low, which is being made right now. Right, so with these levels, guys, you could really get a good idea of how to dictate where the market is going to go, right? So let's see right here, for example, right, 38.58. Very, very important pivot, right? So this is a big battle for bulls versus the bears. In the morning, right off the rip, we open right at that, that supports level, and just end up taking right off of it, So, as we make higher highs, now we start retesting these, we start revisiting these levels over here. The 38.71 from this supply zone. Break through that, test of the supply zone from the previous weekly breakdowns, and we couldn't get through them. So as supply and demand dictates, we find new buyers elsewhere. If no one wants to advance the market here, it doesn't make sense to keep pushing it high. They're going to drop it in order to find more buyers. So in our case, our target for SPY was actually 3,900. We got a tiny little bit over that. The high was 3901.25, so fairly close on our target. We were short-term bullish. We experienced a lot of down selling and huge downtrend. Big, they tried to bounce it, and then that big rejection on Friday is what kind of scared a lot of people. But you know what? They did bring it back pretty hard in the past few sessions. So that short term, I'm still bearish until we can hold and push past that 38.58 on the weekly. But the range has been insane, guys. If you guys are able to capture some of these moves intraday, I mean, they're just crazy. I mean, look at SPY today, 5-point move to the upside, and then a 3.5 point downturn. I mean, those are huge moves, guys. Huge on weekly expiring contracts. Even if you're scalping, you guys can make pretty good money. So hopefully that this video helps you guys a little bit understand, what ES is, how it works, the way it works, and like I said, guys, it's all about price action, right? We're not trying to predict the market. We're just trying to understand how to read price action, volume. If you guys use RSI, that's a great indicator for strength, right? But mostly the volume, price, and price action, volume, and the levels. That's it, guys. We want to pay attention to the trend, play the trend, right? For me, I use the 8 and 21 day EMAs as well as the VWAP for my trades and my entries and stuff like that. So you guys can find a system that works for you guys, and whatever you guys it is that you guys do. Just make sure you guys are sticking to your system and executing properly, and not letting ego take course of the trade. So yeah, this is our little breakdown and short-term tutorial on ES.